Hello everyone, this is my garden tour. I thought I would do a video because I feel like pictures just don't quite do my garden justice because it's all split up and I almost want to get some close-ups and stuff, so I thought I would do this instead. So we'll start with the part that's not doing so great, but my brassica bed. We've got some kale and kohlrabi. My baby bok choy down here is all gone to seed. So I'm just letting that go and we can save the seeds from that. I have my Napa cabbage right over here that's actually looking pretty good. Cabbage takes up so much darn space that I'm not sure that I'll grow a ton of it in the future because I have such small gardens that I want to try to get better yields out of it. But anyway, these are my potato baskets. I had just random laundry baskets, so I thought I would grow potatoes in them. The potato plants are doing good. I don't know if they're putting any potatoes out. We'll see, I guess, in a little bit. Have a sweet potato basket here. It's doing okay. There's a better place that's the sweet potatoes are doing a little bit better. Yeah, this is actually the dog run, but Sawyer doesn't use it. We don't keep him confined to the dog run. So I have some of my art, my garden art. We'll show you that as we go along. We have a sunflower, some lettuce. I have to do some cutting of that. We have some runner beans because I have hummingbird feeders. I'm trying to attract more. So I'm trying to do some runner beans that have the really bright flowers. So we'll see how that goes. They're starting to grow, but I don't have any flowers just yet. Tokyo long bunching onions are right there. Still trying to figure out how to do that. Onions are a new thing for me this year. Then we have some carrots and some more runner beans, another sunflower. Then we have my cucamelon. Sprouts are in that little guy over there. They're just sprouting. We'll see what we get from them. Then I have my kiddie pool with my strawberries. And you could see the red things are not strawberries. I actually painted some rocks red so that the birds won't eat them. And then I have a grape plant here. Grapevine, I should say. And then some more cabbage. And then I planted my squash behind, and I'm trying to trellis them this year. We'll see what happens with that, but they're kind of being shaded a little bit by the cabbage, so they're not doing great yet. I have one little squash. It's a butta squash. Let's see, you could see him right in there. I'm not sure if he got pollinated. He's actually growing a little bit, so we'll see if we get an actual squash from that. So we will see, time will tell. I've also been planting some flowers. Not exactly sure what that guy is. I thought it was a daga, but the leaves look different than when I look at the pictures online, so I don't know what that'll end up being. I started most of my garden from seed. I would say 95% of my garden is from seed. If anybody watches Gary Pilarczyk from The Rusted Garden, he had a great idea of kind of making a map and not putting markers in the plants, but to do a map and cross-reference on paper. That did not go well for me. So when I went to go actually plant some of the stuff, a windstorm took away a lot of my papers and had no idea what a lot of the stuff was. So I don't know that I'll do that again. This is my pepper bed. So I have some banana peppers are probably the most prolific. You can see there. We pulled one off the other day. It wasn't very tasty though, so I don't know if I pulled it too early. This pepper in front of it right here is a jigsaw pepper. And I think it puts off different colored peppers, but it's kind of cool. There's some variegated leaves here. It kind of looks almost like it's sickly, but that's just how the leaves are. It's pretty neat. And here's my little garden gnome rain catcher. I have some cosmos. This plant here, right there, is a cardinal climber. I got another one over here. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out this. Woo. Over there. And then I have black-eyed Susans here and over here. I was hoping to have a butterfly pea, but I could not get the butterfly pea to germinate for the life of me. I've tried 3 times and was unsuccessful. So we're kind of giving up. So I moved the black-eyed Susan so we could have it, so we can trellis it up and kind of cover the fence a little bit. Sunflowers everywhere. More peppers. Also some random carrots growing right here. Also have a peanut plant growing around here too. I have squirrels that I feed peanuts to, and they're just shoving it in different places. So, we should go back and do some more garden art. Sorry, let me head back over here. We have the rose that I painted, some garden art, and then have my little welcome sign that I painted as well, and some different pots that I just hang with some fake succulents. I tried to do some real flowers last year, but they're really hard to keep watered, so I ended up going artificial this year. So we have this too with some more fake succulents. And then we have our mason bee house, or our solitary bee house. And I also have some mud down there so that they can build their little walls. This bed was my garlic bed. I harvested my garlic last weekend. So now I planted some bush beans in here, so we're waiting for them to germinate. And we have our water fountain and just this random hanging stuff I got a while ago. I don't remember where I got it. I can't reach it. Just kind of makes a little jingling noise. And then we have this is the squirrel feeder and another mason or solitary bee house. And this is my other sweet potato pot. It's growing a ton. Sweet potatoes vines are at least getting crazy long. So we'll see what we get from that. And this is bird feeders. Got lots of bird feeders. I love watching the birds. I was hoping that I have a western scrub brush that's stealing all the squirrels' peanuts, which is kind of funny to watch. And we have a wind spinner thing. It's kind of fun. The light turns off or turns on at night. And then this is my my most recent art project. I got it at Michael's on not clearance, but they were having a great sale, so I got that. Hummingbird feeder that a friend gave to me that I love, and I just put some flowers above it to try to attract the hummingbirds, but I haven't had a lot of hummingbirds this year, unfortunately. And then I have just another little water or bird bath. And I have my hanging planter that I don't know that I'll plant again next year. It's really hard to keep watered. I love it if it would actually grow stuff, but we'll see. We'll see. We're trying. This was a new thing this year as well. And this is my new perennial garden. My husband built the bed for me this year. And so I'm trying to attract more pollinators. I did a lot from seed. As you can see, it just looks like a lot of weeds almost, but then I did some different plantings of different things to try, some perennials. So we'll see what happens with that. This is actually, I keep saying my newest. I've just done a lot of art things. I actually bought this today at Home Goods. Indonesian from driftwood and glass, and it's just kind of nice. So I'm hanging that just from our tree. And I also bought this guy today. He's my little namaste frog. So I don't know, he was kind of cute, so I thought he was cute, so I got him. Then this is my rock garden. So over here, this used to be all rocks, and so we moved all the rocks over to here and made kind of a rock garden. I want to plant some stuff in there. This area is shaded most of the time, so I'm trying to figure out what to plant in the rocks. So if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. I have my hostas. I have some just vining plants. This is called a mushroom plant. I don't know exactly what it is, but I guess it's supposed to. The leaves taste like mushrooms. I haven't tried it yet. And this is my other cool thing. All of our utility boxes and stuff are behind this wall. So we made this wall so that we don't have to look at it. And I think it looks pretty cool. It kind of hides it pretty well. These are my roses. We had these when we moved in. I haven't done anything with them. I take that back. This is the first year I actually cut them back pretty severely, and then actually fertilized them. I don't usually fertilize them. And I swear the blooms are brighter than I've ever seen them before. So I don't know if that was that, or I don't know, but they're growing really well. I love them. Not something I normally probably would have put there, but I'm so glad they are there. And then in this pot right back here, it's in the shade most of the time. I'm trying to grow some more cilantro. As most of you know, it's a cool weather crop, so I'm trying to just grow it in the shade, and it's doing well so far. So we'll see how that goes. And then we have just a basket that I did with, can't remember the plant that's in there. I don't think I have the tag either. I'm really bad at remembering sometimes, unless I'm, been growing it for a while. And then we have some petunias in there. So I kind of just thought that was cute. Another succulent planter. And I bought this at like a garage sale for like $1, so I put another succulent in there. This is my little blueberry guy. He didn't put any blooms this year. He's small. I'm surprised he's surviving it all, because I didn't really make the soil too acidic for him, but he seems to be doing okay. He's just not putting out any blueberries this year. A hanging basket with all petunias that I grew. I fell in love with the petunias I grew this year. They are doing way better than any hanging basket I've bought of petunias in the past, like at a store or a garden center. So I went a little crazy and bought a ton of petunia seeds this year, actually just in the last week or so. So I plan on growing a lot of petunias. They just fill in anywhere. You can shove them anywhere, and they're just beautiful. Yeah, this I can't even express to you how much better this has grown than anything I've grown before, and something I've bought. Just some more rose bushes. This was given to me by a drug rep years ago, and I just didn't want it to die in the pot, so I just planted it. That's the same with this one here too. Another drug rep gave that to me. Actually, no, I take that back. That was given to me by a dear, my old neighbor from when I was growing up. She gave that to us, and you could see here, this leafy stuff here is lavage. It's actually growing under the fence from my neighbors. So I need to cut that back a little bit, but yeah. So this rose bush, if you can see the yellow rose right there, this is my mom's rose bush. So my mom loved yellow roses, and so when she passed away, I bought this rose bush in her memory. And I actually just cut off a ton of spent blooms. I wish I did this video earlier so you could have seen it. Although, I don't know, let's see if we can. They smell just amazing. It's not going to show really great, sorry, but yeah, I love this. I come out and talk to my mom at the rose bush all the time, and yeah, and so I know that these blooms don't look yellow, but they're kind of a pale yellow. So this is kind of the yellow rose area. I need to put a couple more. I just love them. And this is my old cilantro pot, I guess. Most of it's gone to seed or to flower. There's one, the Calypso, if you can see over on the top end here. That's actually still doing pretty good. It's Calypso cilantro, and so it's, I guess, less likely to bolt or slower to bolt. So yeah, so if you're gonna buy a variety, I would get that one, because the other varieties, like one was slow bolt kale or cilantro, and one was merino, and both of those have already gone to flower. So yeah, Calypso's the one to definitely go for. This is a columnar apple tree. It's supposed to grow, let's see if I can back up. It grows pretty much vertical, and we've had this one for probably like 7 years. It's not growing really fast. They seem to bloom, and this is another one. I kind of call it a big bird apple tree, because he's kind of got that long neck and more of a bigger belly. But they usually put out apples every other year. So this is, although, yeah, so this would be a non-producing year. So down here are columbines, if you can see those. I got those at a plant sale last year. I was so lucky this year to have, or actually last year I should say, to get to a garden center that was closing, and I bought this basket. All their pots were $2 a piece. I got this hanging basket for $2, and again, those petunias are ones that I grew from seed. So I love this. It's just so vibrant, colorful. My nasturtiums I actually put in a hanging basket because I needed to plant them, and I wasn't ready to put them in any ground or bed because I hadn't mended my bed. So they're looking okay. They're struggling a little bit. I have a lupine right there. He didn't put out any blooms this year, but he was struggling a little bit. He still kind of is. So, and then we have this guy. Used to be a grapevine. He was doing great. The grapevine was beautiful. Put out so much foliage last year. This year, absolutely nothing. It was just dead. I don't know what happened. So I ended up buying, this is a prolific kiwi. It's not a real kiwi plant, but it puts out kiwi-like berries. So they're tiny berries, but they taste like kiwi. They look like kiwi, although they don't have the hair, so you can just eat them whole, which is kind of cool. So we'll see what happens with that guy, but he's supposed to be frost tolerant, so we'll see what happens with them. He's just starting to put out little vines, so he's a vining plant, so we'll see what happens with him. I bought some little rain boots, child's rain boots, and I just put some petunias in there, and I just think that's really cute. And this is my basil bed, for the most part. I do have a tomato plant in here, but all this is basil. I have a purple basil here, and then I have some Thai basil here and some Genovese basil. Can't remember what that one is. Yeah, so I just harvested a ton of it off today. Now we're going to turn around. So that was just the perimeter of my backyard, pretty much. So you got the dead grass that I need to work on. Now we'll do the patio, or the, oh, there's Sawyer. Little lump, just sleeping. We had a busy day today. So I'm going to come around. So we have just these big planters here that I put some peas. The peas are kind of going. They're still putting out a little bit, so we'll wait. And we have some portulacas in here, and then some pansies. And then these have some borage here. Strawberries all along here, some more borage. Strawberries, some marigolds. Another faux planter. And then this is the strawberry tower that Ricky and I built. He built most of it, I will say. So all strawberries, minus there's some borage there. All strawberries. This is the only part that has been giving me strawberries. I've only harvested strawberries from here. I love it because it's compact. And yeah, I just love it. Some random stuff here. Yeah, just a bunch of random stuff. And then my nasturtiums. These have done really well. They're beautiful. Then we'll head back. And this is a lot of my herbs here. We've got anise, and we've got dill, horehound, that I'll make probably some cough drops from, just in case anything happens. Then we've got chamomile is pretty much this whole pot. We've got strawberries that I grew from seed. Down there, they're doing okay. Some random stuff. Again, I don't know exactly what's going on there. We've got begonias that I actually bought at Costco. It was just like you literally take off the top, you water it, and it grows. And then this was all ice plants and portulaca, and the squirrels kind of got to it. So it's not doing great. So I actually put a Thai basil plant right there. So yeah. Then this was a clearance plant at Lowe's. And this is a citronella geranium to try to keep the mosquitoes away. It does not work. Portulaca, these I bought at the store. I just love portulaca. They just bloom all year or all season. And they're just beautiful. They're so bright. So I love them. And then this was my DIY solar fountain. I got a pump that plugs into a USB port. And then you could see, I just bought a power bank and it just plugs right in and it's just right there. I just love it. Just gives a little, I don't know, little interest, I guess. I was going to put it out for the birds like a little bit further out in the yard, but I don't know. I like it right there. And then we have more peas. And then this gnome, a little bit more morbid gnome, but this was given to me by my dear friend Donna, who has I love her sense of humor. But so this is the gnome that cut off the flamingo's head. And if you know my friend Donna, she loves flamingos, so it's kind of funny that she got that for me. But yeah, he got a new paint job because he was looking a little sick, so I painted him to give him a little bit color back. And then these are my Dollar Tree tiered planters that I got earlier this year and painted them. They were doing so well. They were doing so well earlier this year, and we had probably three weeks ago, we had such a big windstorm and it blew them over. So a lot of the things died, or we just shoved soil back in, and so nothing grew, or it just was out of place. And so that's kind of been a bummer for me. I replanted some of the stuff in there, but it just isn't the same. But I do have, I think these are orange hat tomatoes. They're determinates. They're just very tiny, but they do have, if you see that, they do have tomatoes. So I'm just waiting for those to ripen. Then we just have alyssum, some lettuce down there, more lettuce. I was talking to my husband about these flowers earlier, and the name has completely escaped my mind. I know what they are, but I cannot think of them. Like my mind's just completely not even coming to my mind right now. Rosemary that I grew from seed, more basil. We have some petunias down there. I planted some bush beans, but they're just not germinating. I've had a really tough time with germination of bush beans this year. I'm not sure what's going on, but we'll deal. Had to make a makeshift little stool or step for Sawyer because he's having a hard time getting up in that big step. Then we have lavender here. I got for $3 at King Soopers, so figured why not. And then some more sweet potatoes. And then Sawyer's little toy bin. And then some more petunias and another determinate tomato. This is mint that's kind of taken over that pot. We've got dianthus, we've got some marigold and some alyssum. This is St. John's wort right here. This is lavender that I grew from seed that's just taking forever to grow. And then I don't know if you guys have seen, I grew this from seed. I'm going to bring it over here so I can show you. It's a sensitive plant. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but this is probably the best one to show it on. But when you touch it, it falls down. Like it pretends it's dead. And yeah, it's kind of been a little bit on the, it's not dead, but it's definitely been on the kind of wilty side today. But it's just kind of neat to, I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if we can get in there. And yeah, he's kind of already a little wilty, but it's just a really neat plant. They just, that's their defense mechanism. It's just kind of neat. So yeah, I thought I'd show that to you. And this is my lemon tree that another dear friend gave to me. He is not looking so good. We just brought him outside today. He does this during the winter. He just kind of loses a lot of his leaves. I think he goes into shock, partially because I'm not really good about bringing him in slowly. I kind of just bring him in and I'm done because he's just getting so big and heavy to do that. But he usually puts out a ton of leaves in the summer. I haven't actually gotten fruit off of him in about a year. Actually, no, I take that back, about 6 to 8 months. So I might just propagate him again and just start over with a new plant. Just propagate a new area and just start a new plant and get rid of this one. But we'll see. He's, I'd like to keep him. Our grill. And then we're going to the side yard now. And we have my, my rain barrel. And so this I have to show you because I'm so excited about this. I dream of trusses like this, of tomatoes. Can you see that? I dream of this. I've always seen it on videos, trusses that just have this long line of tomatoes, and I have it this year. So excited. Lots and lots of tomatoes. Nothing that's ready to eat yet, or ripe. That's the word I'm looking for. But my plants look, they're probably about almost 5 feet tall now. We actually added, if you can see here, we actually added another 4 inches to the bed so I could plant them nice and deep. And I have my little Dollar Tree gnomes that I found early in the season. I have 3 of them with a little toadstool that I got at the dollar store too. Just cute little guys. And then I also have this is the purple basil, a volunteer sunflower. I think this is a spicy globe basil, and then another purple basil. And then I have, I believe those might be calendulas. They're either that or they're, nope, I think they're, never mind, they're marigolds. So I have sun gold. I have mainly cherry tomatoes this year. I didn't do a whole lot of larger tomatoes, although I do have a couple. I have a pineapple and a Dr. Witchy's. This, I think, which one is this here? This is the Sweet Aperitif. So this one has put out a ton of flowers, like just a ton. But I think the cherry tomatoes, the tomatoes are actually very tiny. If you peek down here, they're actually not too small. I mean, they're not great, but they're gonna put out a ton of them though. I tried the Sun Gold for the first time last year, and that's where my truss is. My favorite truss is a Sun Gold, and they are the best tomatoes I've ever tasted. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in this 7.5 foot bed. So I planted them very closely. I've trained them up to 1 stalk, pruned all of the suckers, and I've pruned, I don't know if you can tell at the bottom that I've pretty much pruned off all of the bottom growth there. And I'm just waiting for them to get ripe. I can't wait. And then I have 2 bags, grow bags with some more cherry tomatoes. And they're a little bit smaller than the others, obviously. And I have a ground cherry. This is my first year growing a ground cherry. I've heard good things about them, so I thought, well, what the heck. Although it's taking up a lot of space, so I'm hoping they're worth it, because again, I try to grow things that are that grow a lot of stuff, or a lot of produce, or a lot of yield for the space it takes up. And so we'll see. This is my melon bed. So I have some different melons along. Again, Gary Polarchek gave me the idea to get the shelving. And I got these for free or for a very minimal price on Facebook Marketplace. And so I'm trellising up the closet shelves. So we'll see. Still nothing coming up. There's no fruit to show. It's just starting to get going. I have a volunteer sunflower in the most inopportune place, but I'm not going to take him out because of that. So he will grow some pretty sunflowers. These are my onions. I have never grown onions before, so I grew these actually from seed, amazingly enough. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure. They're kind of lumped over. I don't know how big they'll get. We'll see. Then I'm growing pole beans, and if you can see this trellis, I'm going to kind of go up and over. It goes up, reaches at the top, and then comes back down into my other bed, because right here I have a window well, and so I couldn't put a bed there. So I decided to put a trellis there. So if you see, these are my runner beans, or my pole beans, and they are actually going up the pole. So I'm kind of excited about that. It took a while, and there's some other, oh, that's my onion, never mind. There's some other runners here that we need to get trained up. This is actually a watermelon vine, because my pole beans there did not germinate at all. Again, problems with beans this year. I'm not sure what happened. So we're going to try to train that guy up the trellis just a little bit. More nasturtiums. I also have some chives here that the flowers have already been spent and stuff. I need to get them off. And then another tomato plant. I accidentally topped this guy, so I'm just going to wait for these tomatoes here to ripen. And then I also have I don't know if you can see, that guy is a sucker. So I'm going to try to then train him up. But I also took some suckers off, and I'm rooting them inside. So I'm going to plant them a little bit later. I also have a sunflowers there and there, so they'll grow up in between the trellis. Another tomato plant. More nasturtiums. So hopefully these tomato plants get nice and tall up and right in the middle of that trellis. So it'll be interesting. Another volunteer sunflower. And they're actually already in bloom. I love this color. They're kind of like this deep, almost like a red. It's really cool, but they're also like really light on the outside. They're just really cool. But also you can see something's eating them. I'm not sure what. I'm really bummed. Usually I have bees all over this, my sunflowers, but really not a lot of bees this year. I'm really kind of bummed. So here's the shelving again in my other bed. These were the original beds that I had. The beds I showed you earlier on the periphery of the yard are new just yet last year. So I have some more peppers here just because I didn't know what to plant. And I had a ton of peppers from seed this year. So I planted them, and these are my cucumbers. We also have a sunflower right here. I try to put sunflowers pretty much in the corner of all my beds. Just pretty, and hopefully draws in pollinators. So cucumbers, trying to train up. They're actually just starting to figure it out. You can see this guy here. He's finally starting to grab on. It's really hard though. I've broken off a couple of them because the spaces here are really tough, so you kind of have to bend it in, and it's just, sometimes it breaks them off. So I'm trying to figure out a better way for that. And then I just have these like kind of decorative balls here and here that I put in there. And yeah, I kind of think it's cool. And then I have pineapple tomatillos. This right here, I know it kind of looks like the cucumber, but that's a pineapple tomatillo, and so is that. Again, it takes up a lot of room. I'm just not sure if I'm going to grow those again, because so far they haven't put out anything. Of course, none of my garden really has put out anything besides peas. So yeah, and then I have, again, another pole bean over there. I don't know if you can see that. He's kind of got his little tendril or his little vine up. He hasn't quite figured it out yet. And then again, this volunteer sunflower is right by the corner. So I have another pole bean, but he hasn't figured it out either yet. So we're still trying. And then this is my ginger. He just started putting out little sprouts a little bit ago. I think I'm going to plant a little bit more. I have some ginger in the kitchen that is just starting to dry out. I think I'm just going to plant him. And then this guy, let me tell you the story of this guy. Oh, this I call my avocado stick. So this guy I started from seed, gosh, I want to say probably 2 years ago. I started an avocado seed from a seed I bought at the store. And he put out this, and it took him forever to put out this stick. Actually, it started out here. And he would put out leaves, and then they would fall off. And then he'd put out leaves, and they'd fall off. And so then I obviously take him in the winter. And this time, like in the winter last year, he was literally a stick. Literally. I mean, I'm not joking. Literally a stick. And he started to get fungus gnats. And my husband does not tolerate fungus gnats. So I put him in the garage and just kind of left him for dead. I don't know why I didn't throw him out. I just couldn't do it. And he lived in the garage, in the dark, in the cold, all winter long. And didn't water him, nothing, didn't do anything. And he started to put out this one little sprout in the garage early this season. And so I was like, well, what the heck, we'll just throw them out outside and water them. And I fertilized them a little bit, just top dressed. And I've never seen him put out more. Usually he'll just put one thing of leaves out. He's actually putting out two little things of leaves. So, you know, he's just my little guy. I know I probably won't ever get avocados because even if I did, it would be too big of a tree to bring in and out every year. But he's just resilient. So I just thought, I'll keep him. He just makes me happy. So yeah, so that's really kind of it. This is my wood pile, which I thought was kind of cool that I saw this on, I think it was on Pinterest. I put PVC pipe in a cinder block and then I just threw some wood on there, and it's been really good because before it was just like on the ground and everything. It just looked horrible. So yeah, so I'm trying to think of what else I can show you. I think that's about it. The next thing I kind of want to do is see if I can figure out how to do an arch trellis to just kind of enter the yard. I don't know, we'll see. This is another Dollar Tree project I did. I just took these are actually plastic placemats, amazingly enough, and I just cut them into triangles and glued them to ribbon. I just thought that was cool. I was gonna try and sew some stuff, and I'm definitely not good at sewing, so that's what I did. I just thought it was cute. So anyway, that is my garden, and I just thought it was a lot easier, not even easier, but just a little bit more showing to show you what I have instead of just taking pictures. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe I'll do another one in the future to show you what's changed. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how many people enjoyed this. It's kind of long, but it's my first video ever that I'll post for anybody other than my mom or dad to see. So anyway, have a great evening. Bye.